Hey guys, and welcome to Rolleston today. So we've gone further north from Carnarvon yesterday afternoon, and we stayed at the caravan park at Rolleston. It's a really nice place.
Yeah, very, very nice.
And this morning we got up and gone and had a look around, and we've been reading the signs. It said there was some big Aboriginal massacre here in the 1800s, and it was like the Aboriginals killed 19 white fellas, and then the white fellas all went out and hunted down 300 Aboriginals and killed them back, and then that went like back and forwards for like ages here. This was like they were like the fiercest group of...
Yeah, it says they mounted the biggest resistance in Australia.
Yeah, so yeah, that's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's like heaps of Aboriginal history around here. They won't tell you where it is because they're too worried.
It's all here.
Today we're going to Emerald. We're going to have a quick look around at the cemetery here now. So we're at the cemetery and it's nice and little, which is good, because if you ever walk through Carnarvon Gorge, like, you'll know the next day you don't really want to go walking much. There's really cool sandstone graves here, eh? They're just like a sandstone rock that they've like sanded down the front on. This one is a picture of him riding his horse there, eh? It says humble stockman rodeo champion who met the Queen, eh? So that's pretty cool. This one is really old. We can't, like, the date looks like it says 1822, but we're not sure. And it says he died at 19 years here. And there was a thing about a guy in that hut saying that he died at 19 years and he was speared by Aboriginals. So I'm wondering if that is him. I'd have to go back and check. Thomas Arles, I think it says 1861. And his wife Ruth down here, can't even tell. Like, these ones are that old, they're so hard to read. So,
Died 1863.
1863. Yeah. So yeah, that one's pretty old. Here's another really old one, you still can't read this. 1847, and he's buried on like a different angle to everyone else, which means he's like he's a different religion.
Yeah.
And that served him well here, because you can still read his one and you can't read them ones up the back there. Yeah, so that's been really cool. There's a few graves here that are like before 1850, which for Queensland that's pretty rare, because most people who were in Queensland before 1850 were just buried on the side of the road in unmarked graves to start with, and like there just wasn't many people here at all before 1850, like anywhere in Queensland. So yeah, it's really cool. All right, so now we're like headed slightly northwest towards Emerald from here, and yeah, we'll see what we see along the way. So we're about halfway to Springsure, and we've found this place called Staircase Range Cutting, and yeah, it says it was built around 1905 by Chinese labour and cut out the sandstone. And then it says an improved crossing of the range was built by Bahina Shire in the late 1920s. It's been a long time since I've seen a sign without bullet holes in it, I reckon.
Yeah. Frogs in there.
Is the old sandstone cutout. This was the main road up in the Springsure. Yeah, wow, it's really cool. So the actual road is just the sandstone they cut out. And you can see all the pick marks here, where it was all dug out by the Chinese with picks. Like, crazy. So and then once you get to the end of the cutting, I'm guessing the road must have gone round and up there and then up here where the trucks are coming down the highway here. But then over here, there's a little bit of a creek. And yeah, this is all looking really cool down here too. Yeah, so it's not the greatest looking creek, but yeah, it's pretty nice. All just runs down the rock here. If I had to guess, I'd say the cutting's probably named after this creek, because the creek is like a staircase. Yeah, wow, so you get down the creek a bit more and then it becomes all this, which this is definitely really staircasey. It's cool as. Yeah, Sarah just said like it's like a natural stadium, and like it is. You could sit here and people sit there and there and there, and then have like your band down the bottom. And yeah, this would be mad for concerts. This little pool is just crawling with tadpoles. I don't know They must be a frog. They don't look like cane toad.
We could hear
So,
frogs just up there, hey?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, I didn't notice them, but yeah.
So...
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's been a really cool spot. That's like, that was just one of them little historic site signs on the side of the road, and this is like the best one that we've stopped at. They're usually pretty disappointing. The other thing I'm noticing here is that all the bottle trees now are the broadleaf bottle trees, and they're like deciduous. They lose their leaves, so a lot of them are like bald. But yeah, the bottle trees have changed. Welcome to Springsure. So we're just going to go check the information centre, see if there's anything we need to do here. Then we're going to go and have a look at the mountain over here. Alright, so we've been to the information centre asking like, where's all the Aboriginal stuff? And they just like, nah, go to Carnarvon. So yeah, unless you're going to go to Carnarvon, you won't get to see any without doing your own research and finding it yourself. So that's really, really, really crap. Like, yeah, thanks. Anyway, here's the big mountain at Springsure. This bit over here they call the Virgin, because apparently it looks like the Virgin Mary in there. And at night it's all lit up and everything, so that should be really cool, especially considering we're camping about like 300 meters back down the road here. We're gonna have a mad view. You actually get a better view back there because the trees are in the way here. So yeah, it's mad. Let's go have a look around, and then we'll come back and set up camp later. Alright, so we've come down to the cemetery for a look, and there's this place over here. It's called the Yumba, which means the meeting place in Aboriginal, and it's got all their like preserved, bark wrapped Aboriginal grave like stuff. Everything is in this building here, because it was all taken out of the mountains here by white people and sent to museums and stuff, and well, they got it all back here, and it's all in that building there. So yeah, you can only like see it by appointment, and I don't like, you know, I don't want to hassle the bloke out. The lady at the information centre said that he's probably having a bad day because his dog got run over. So I'm like, ugh, great. So yeah, but in there is ancient Aboriginal remains, all preserved and bark wrapped and everything. The Aboriginals, they used to like, they'd kind of mummify all like the kings and all the like really high up people, and then they'd carry them around for like 12 months to 2 years, and then they'd stick them in like a natural cave in the sandstone along the bottom of the cliffs. It was like the 3 or 4 tribes. They'd all come together at Carnarvon Gorge and paint on the wall where we saw. And yeah, it's just a pity that you can't go and see all the other cave paintings, because like there's going to be cave paintings just in the rocks behind us right here, and just in front of us here, scar trees. So these are, we saw some of these back in between Mitchell and Charlieville, and this is where the Aboriginals scarred out the bark so they could use it to make things. Look, this one might have been a shield. Like, that's like a perfect shield shape, eh?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, wow, so there's some really old graves here too. This one here, it's so hard to tell because it's so worn, but I think it says like 1823 or 1828. Could be 1888 or 1883 as well. But yeah, so we found out as well, the massacre where the 19 people were killed by the Aboriginals was on the other side of this mountain. Was like, so we'll probably end up going and having a look at the site tomorrow. But yeah, so you can guess where like the 300 Aboriginals lived that got killed. This one could do with some fixing up. This one's pretty cool. This is probably the biggest piece of petrified wood that I've seen. And yeah, oh mate, got it for a headstone, eh? Yeah, so wow, that's been another cool cemetery. I'd happily be buried here in the shadow of this big mountain. So this is where we're camping, right in the foot of this mountain. It's just epic, and at night they're gonna light up that bit, so that's gonna be even more epic. So yeah, that's about it for today. Tomorrow we're gonna go and do the big tourist loop around this mountain. Well, there's a dog bark. Go away. And yeah, big loop around the mountain and back to here, and then There's an old homestead house that we want to go and see, and a couple of other things, so we'll see how much of that we get done before we start heading to Emerald. He's playing with his drone. But yeah, we'll see you next time.